Bravo Charlie November.
How are you doing today, Oliver?
Yes, good morning, Oliver. I'm doing very well, thank you. Just running QRP power here, just running 5 watts. It's a very, very nice day here into the northeast UK. Temperature at the moment about 16 degrees. And just having a quick play on the radio. Everybody's getting ready, so we're having a day out in Newcastle City today. And looking forward to it. Just thought I'd get a little bit of radio time in before I get flustered and get pestered to turn it off, Oliver, over.
Roger. What did you say, 5 watts, Roger?
Yes, I'm just running 5 watts. I'm just messing about because you're super strong. You're 5'9" plus 20, and sometimes a little bit higher than that. So just turned the power down on the radio. I'm actually doing a video of it, to be honest. Every now and again I make some QRP QSOs and I post them on YouTube. I've got quite a lot on there. Managed China and various different locations. I've done much better than that from the beach portable, to be fair. But just using a rotatable dipole. I think we spoke yesterday, if I remember correctly, Oliver. And because you were super strong, I just turned the power as slow as it'll go on this radio, which is 5 whiskies, and thought I'd give you a call over.
Yeah, okay, so listen, of course, I remember our conversation yesterday. Brian, number one, first of all, you beat 3 or 4 stations covered them. Transmission was 5.9 plus 2 3 dB. And the calibrated meter, just to let you know, this important detail in your case, I'm quite sure immediately and almost exactly right.
Yep. Well, thanks very much. I'm sure your antenna's doing all the lifting work, Oliver. To be fair, but before getting licensed, you know, I was on 11-meter band a lot of years ago in the 80s and 90s, and I've got to confess I never used the standard rig power. I always used extra power to try and make contacts abroad. And when I got licensed, I was under the impression that 10 watts would, because that's all we're permitted to use on the foundation licenses, I'm sure you know, Oliver. I was under the impression that I'd probably just be a glorified shortwave listener and would probably struggle to make contacts. And to be honest, I found just exactly the opposite. Did a lot of DX from the beach in front of the sea, thinking that's probably the only way of making some decent contacts. But I'm absolutely blown away what could be achieved with 5 watts and even less. I spoke to a guy from Poland that was using 1 watt, and he was 58. He was giving me a 5 and 8 just using 1 watt. So it just shows what's possible when the conditions are right. And as a result of it, I'm on a few Facebook groups where people are sort of saying there's no point in getting the foundation license, and I like to share a link of my YouTube channel showing what can be achieved, and I video it as well, and I show the power of the radio that I'm actually using. So there's no trickery or anything like that going on, Oliver. But there's actually proposals here in the UK to increase power levels. Again, I'm sure you're aware of that. And the next stage of the license for me would be intermediate, and the talk at the moment is to increase the power from 50 to 100 watts, and it seems a bit more, how can I put it, I'm a little bit more enthusiastic about doing that. I was thinking going from 10 watts to 50 is probably going to give me, you know, maybe 1 S point at best. But the motivation to pass the 2E0 of these proposals coming over will be a lot higher, over.
Yeah. There's one story about the kids. Just to let you know, I'm using an XTR radio here, and one of the last software changes upgrades had a little failure. So when I pulled the power slider down to zero, usually this radio is on zero output, and needs to switched off the amplifier for a short period, which had a little failure. Playing here, listening to myself and the monitor, and I didn't realize that there is some output at the antenna port. I didn't use a dummy load at that moment, and I don't know, you know this stupid counting in A and O and 1, 2, 3, 4 test, blah blah blah, and then I released the PTP and someone from VK came back. Can you imagine? Yeah, I like that kind of test. And what can I say, Brian? You know, finally, there's only one thing important: antenna that counts. Of course, it's an advantage if you put on some 100 watts on top, but it's not that necessary until you have the opportunity to install some aluminum. To you, Brian, M7BC. Over.
Yeah, well, I love that kind of thing. I must admit, it really does float my boat, and I'm quite fortunate. I have a friend of mine who is a full license holder, who just kind of lives around the corner. Probably, I don't know, maybe take me about 5 minutes to walk from my QTH to his QTH. And this guy, his call is Mike Zero Alpha Sierra November. He's got an absolute fantastic setup there. He has the Yaesu FT DX10 radio and X-Beam, which is about, he's got it on a tower. He can wind it up and wind it down. And it's probably about, I don't know, maybe 10 meters, 30 foot above the ground and stuff. And quite often I get on the frequency with him, and he's calling CQ and working station after station after station. And every now and again, when there's strong ones coming through, and I kind of fancy my chances of making the contact, I just send him a little message on the messenger, and he passes me over, and absolutely amazed. Obviously, there's a massive difference between signals. Sometimes John's 20, 30, 40 dB over. But I'm amazed that I'm getting heard, you know, at a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or sometimes even a 5 and 5. So it blows me away, Oliver, what can be achieved. And as you say, the antenna is the important factor. Location, conditions, and a little bit of luck sometimes. I think where people struggle, Oliver, is actually breaking through. A lot of the DX stations, they're always listening for the strongest station coming back, and that makes it very, very difficult for us low power guys. But just going off your test, when you were saying you were doing some testing there, I've made quite a few contacts. A good one into the USA when a guy was testing his radio, and I recognised the voice, and I thought that sounds like an American guy. So I just dropped my call sign in, and he come back to me, and I had probably about a 10 or 15 minute QSO into the USA, and that kind of blown me away. So getting in nice and early sometimes helps, Oliver. Anyway, I wonder what you've got planned today, and I'm interested to know what the temperature is at your end, Oliver. DH1TT M7 BCM.
Yeah, again, exactly 5.9 plus 5, and it peaks 10 over now. Well, temperature is 17, 18 degrees, and expected will be 20 in peaks this afternoon. Still before noon. It's overcast, but in a way where you can feel the sun. It's more bright, even the light is more bright than under, let's say, fully overcast conditions. So I have to do some things here. My 80 meter loop came down the first time in my life. I have to repair that. And there is another job on the list on my schedule. And that is the rotor on my main tower. Let's see if the weather is more stable on the weekend. I will start that maintenance. Brian, these are the next steps here, Brian. M7 BCN, DH1TT.
I hope you get that rectified soon, Oliver. I'm sure you will, like you say, weather permitting. I'm going to make this my final because everybody's just about ready now. So we're going to be having a drive to Newcastle. My son's at uni in a couple of weeks' time, and he's moving out of the house, and he'll be living at in Newcastle. So we're going to go down there and suss the place out, and maybe purchase some some items for him, some bedding and maybe cutlery and things like that. Make sure that he's going to be okay when he's away. But I appreciate the QSO as always, and I'll actually upload this QSO on YouTube, Oliver, if you're okay with that. And I'll put your call sign in the title so you can see how strong and how good you sounded here into the UK. DH1TT M7 BCN.
Very good, Brian. So don't spend too much money. Don't waste too much money at the shops. Keep some spare pounds for future projects inside. You have a great afternoon. Enjoy your shopping tour, and hope to catch you soon again. Greetings to Northern England and 73 from Bavaria. I'm 7 BCN, DH1 Tango Tango. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, and take care of yourself, Oliver, and I'm sure we'll see you too before we have the next one.
Bye bye, Brian. Good afternoon. DH1 Tango Tango. Bye.